Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. We are in the place to be. Geekswagg is here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. Lord have mercy. Makita is here.
Yes, I am.
That's right, our girl Grim Freaker is back in the place to be. We are glad to have you back, girl.
I'm glad to be back.
Of course, let's see if we can get Mr. On Time as usual on in the place to be as well. Dirty Helmato, let me see if I can get him real quick. Of course. Negroids, what can I say? Let's see. Do we do this right, or does Bunny mess this one up too? Probably. Oh snap. Yeah, don't worry about it, thank you. We got you. And Mr. Wiltz is here too. Uh-oh. The whole squidard. Here we go. Here it goes right here. See, we get all of them in one fell swoop. And, looks like we got a Nation is coming in. Of course, his little broadcast thing is on. Hey! Picky! I can hear your background noise. You better talk to me. And then I think we got Mr. Wiltz in here too. Hello, peoples. We all here? Somebody here?
I'm here, but I do not have video yet.
What's going on, Chris? What's going on, man?
Man, how you doing?
Good. Ah, there it goes. It's got the little bar. It's doing something.
All right, it's working.
It's trying to work.
The pinwheel is spinning. There we go.
We got Mr. Wiltz in the place to be. Yay, it's not me. Yay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's coming together slowly but surely. Let's see, Dirty Helmato over there still got his XSplit broadcaster going on because he don't want nobody to see him.
Can you hear me though?
Yes, we can finally hear you.
Damn, but play something, son.
Now you over here yelling into the microphone. Thank you.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get this video.
Yeah, I think you got your camera setting on, I guess your Skype camera setting is set to XSplit.
Yes, I gotta check that, but there's a stupid little thing in the way.
Yeah. Technical difficulty. We know.
Oh, to go Chris. What's up, Chris?
Crazy shit.
There we go. Makita is here. Vicky is here. Bunny is here. Geekswagg is slow, but we here. Let's do it like this. I'm gonna put it down here. Oh, there's Makita. Yay! We got video, Makita.
Well, now if I can get my video fixed, it'd be awesome.
Nope. We'll see how fresh I can be with moving all the little video screens all in the right places. And just so you guys know, while we're over here getting our ducks in a row, the gameplay that we will have today running at the same time is a nice little indie game called Armello. Which we would know, not Carmelo. Boo. There will be no Carsmello today.
Thank the Lord.
Nope. But yes, from a little indie group called Legion of Geeks, I think. They made a game called Armello that's like a board game and a card game and a strategy game all mixed together. So later on we'll talk a little bit about that. In the meantime, you'll see the little tiny gameplay over there in the corner as we go along. Let me see if I can get... Where in the world did Chris's name go? Oh, it's over there underneath Carmelo. Carmelo, it has got your name, Chris. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Put it up top so we can see it. Oh no, not smaller. Bigger, smaller. Yes! Yay! I'm coordinated now. Yay, clap your hands. Oh, Lord have mercy. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the team. Thank everybody for being here. We finally got it all under control. I think I'll try to make the video a bit bigger. Maybe I'll stick it in the background so that everybody can see it in the background. Flashlight. So, let me get it going like this, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since we've seen just about everybody. Let me kick it off. Of course, ladies first. Makita, what have you been getting into, girl? It's been a minute since we synced it, you. That's right.
Yeah, I've been working a lot, been going around. I had like a bit of a health scare.
Oh wow.
The doctor was like, you may have lupus, but it turns out that I don't have lupus.
He just decided to scare you.
Yeah.
He just decided to scare you, right?
Like,
was it house?
Was it house?
Well, I guess he was trying it, but whatever. But thank God I've got my health clear for that. And then I've been trying to do like my whole video thing. I've been doing this whole retro gaming. Starting out with like Super Nintendo. I'm trying to jump over places like Sega Saturn and older past games.
That's fresh.
Oh, and then I had a stream for Until Dawn. I did like a 10-hour stream.
Oh my God, yes.
Crazy.
Yes, yeah. You got to give up. We'll get into that. We'll get into that a little bit later after we update everybody. But yes, we got to hear about Until Dawn somewhere in here. I definitely have that on the agenda for today.
But yeah, other than that, I've just been pretty much chillaxing. I mean, I'm a little jealous of everybody that's been able to get their hands on Metal Gear 5. The wallet's a little tight, so I gotta wait till I get it. So
yes,
we'll see what happens.
That's good. That's good. At least it's in the docket. You've got plans to jump into that head first. I can see.
Mhm.
That's good. That's good. What about you, Chris? What you been getting into, man? Not even worry about Thicky. Everybody knows what Thicky been doing.
My life is boring.
That is good at times. Be thankful for that.
Right. Just working.
Mhm. That's good. That's good, man.
Yeah, Taken King has been taking King all my free time.
Oh, beautiful. That's a beautiful thing.
That came out already?
Yeah, when did that drop? A couple weeks ago?
Last week.
Was it last week?
Oh, I thought they had like a special PS4 for it or something like that.
Yeah, they got the little bundles.
They build a new console every time a new AAA game comes out.
They do, right?
You ain't wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't have?
Who doesn't have a custom PS4 or Xbox console now?
I don't. I got a regular generic one.
Me too. Shoot, I got the old one that still has a Kinect. I mean, come on, somebody give me an upgrade. It's not shiny though. It's all black and stuff. I mean, I know black is beautiful, but I want some shiny graphics or something on my Xbox too.
I want stuff.
It's not all dated though. Like people come over your crib in 2 years, like, oh, we're Halo 5. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that much. Okay. If the game sucks, then you got this console.
That looks like a horrible game.
Bad it is.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Better get up on that spray painting skills.
You're funny.
Just stencil it.
Yeah, you know.
That's right. Put some graffiti on your joint and just keep it moving. What about you, Thicker Nation? I guess I'll give you your turn. I'll be nice today.
My turn. Well, you know, we chat. So I've been into Metal Gear. I've been switching through that. Been messing around with NBA Live, trying to like it.
Boo. I mean, that's nice.
Okay, you know, they gave pretty much the whole game away for the demo, so that says a lot.
Now that's what you do for a demo, baby. I mean, you know, you gotta do something. I mean, at least you don't get pissed off and be like, yeah, you can do the tutorial, and then that's it.
Oh, you got like a good 60% of that game. So,
hey, that's a beautiful thing.
So, you know, I think they're trying to make a push there with that. And I was on vacation a couple weeks ago. So.
You sure was. Left all of us here to do work and be sick and all that other kind of stuff. I know, right? We over here holding down the fort. That don't even sound right, yo.
Every time you walk into a park, money,
give me some money. Give me some more. So we know you broke. You're not gonna be getting anything for Christmas.
I hope so. I might have to get on the corner.
Need Christmas gifts.
Pretty much. So, just that. Waiting for some DLC to come out for Witcher 3, and then got I just picked up Batman from Amazon. They had it cheap, so I've been messing around with some Arkham Knight. Just basically all I've been doing is driving around in a car and just running people.
Yeah, I hear you. I've been trying to dig into a few things. As you kind of see there, Armello in the background. I tried that out. I splurged as I thought I was going to with Metal Gear. You know, a couple of shows ago, I talked a little bit about what I thought of Metal Gear. I'll let you guys, I'll let Jason talk a little bit about it once we get to that point. But you know, I played one of those very, very well. I'll kind of dig into part of the agenda here. I went in and played. You know that there's this one indie game that they came out on Xbox Games with Gold or whatever, right? Called Dear God. Lord have mercy.
I've seen this.
Yes, Dear God.
D-E-E-R though, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
D-E-E-R,
Yeah.
as in Bambi, Bambi God. Yes. And you know, it was kind of interesting because the time frame that I got the code for the game was like a few days before the game actually came out for real. And then when the game came out for real, it was on the Xbox Games with Gold thing, so everybody was getting it for free. So I was kind of skeptical just because of that. And then of course I started playing the game and I see why they gave it away for free. Because I don't know what everybody else thought, but that game was butt. I was like, this was just to give you a concept of the game, okay? You know how some indie outfits kind of take their game and they use like the little 8-bit graphic kind of scheme just to kind of give it a retro feel, and you know, then they kind of make it and give it some depth so that it looks like it's 3D, but it's really not 3D. It's, you know, it's like a whole 2D platformer kind of thing, but they put stuff in the foreground and background just to kind of give it a bit of depth. So, you know, they kind of made it look like that, but really it's a 2D platformer where you go and, you know, you're a hunter and you like shoot this deer, and at the same time some kind of mystical thing happens and the deer god comes, gets pissed off at you and says, you've killed a lot of deer, so I'm going to make you into a little baby deer and you're going to live as a deer. And yeah, you live as a deer. It's kind of, that's what you do. You run around as a little deer, jumping around, eating stuff, and other little animals come after you. Other hunters try to shoot you and stuff. And honestly, I couldn't get far enough in the game to really figure out what the concept was because it was butt. That's BJ's review. It was, but I couldn't take it.
You
No,
know
I
what?
could get deeper
that's
into it, but
hilarious.
I mean, just from me
You
explaining
like
it, you guys just sitting there going,
every
"What the deuce?"
You play out there. That's the first time I've ever heard you say game is what.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't take it.
Up every game, I'll be like, yo, this thing is driving me crazy.
No, I couldn't.
But yeah, you got to think about the dynamics of the game.
No, no dynamics.
That was a great impression.
No
like,
dynamics.
On,
no.
me and Makita back there sitting, yo, this is
Sitting there shaking your head like, Yes. Yes, this game, I can officially say across the board, for a great many people, they'll just say, yo, this game is butt.
I'm a star at work tomorrow.
I get a gold star. Yay!
To bake you some cookies and send them. That's like the first time. You know, he always talking about, oh yeah, this game is good. He's always seeing against that goddamn optimism.
No,
Like,
not on this
always.
one. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I guess I've been around y'all too long. I just can't
was
do
the
it.
last straw.
It was. It was.
It takes so much.
I really couldn't. This is really a dumb game. I just couldn't handle it. I'm sorry, dear God, people, but I can't do it, homie. It's just you can take this game and redigitize it. Do something.
Yeah.
Put it back.
It's right back on the shelf. Sorry.
It's bad when BJ says it's
Yeah,
bad.
you
That's bad.
Stay away from it.
Yeah.
Don't even think twice about it. You might think, I'm just going to click on it. Don't do it.
No.
BJ said it's bad. Let me put this back on the show.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to give it the thumb of doom. But yeah, I can't do Dear God. Sorry.
You said it was free?
Yes, it was free too.
Oh, okay.
The first day it came out, it was Games of Gold. You know, on the little Games of Gold thing, they were giving it away for free. I was like, yo,
I don't know how many of those things I skip, man. It's just like I look at it, I read the synopsis, and if I can't get past the first sentence, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough. That's a tough one.
Yeah,
I saw it there, and I debated. You know what I thought it was? What was that other game?
No debate, baby.
There's another one with a deer in it, wasn't it? Like,
really?
It's like Goat Simulator. People
yeah,
like
that's
that.
the one.
Oh yeah, Goat
Oh,
Simulator.
I thought it was like a follow up to something like that. So it's Goat Simulator, not Dare God. Like,
No, honestly, I bet Goat Simulator is probably like a 10 out of 10 compared to this thing. I'm sorry, this is just.
Okay, but they compare because everybody's so open up for Goat Simulator, and I'm like, what is so appealing about running around, bashing your head into shit? Like, what is that about? I played it, and I'm like,
it's
y'all
a troll.
Can't be serious.
Yeah, there's a
Y'all
bunch of
really
trolls
can't be
out there. They just like, yo, this is funny as hell. You know, they smoking something and they playing video games at the same time.
How long can you find that funny? Like the first 5 minutes, I was like,
What point
oh,
exactly?
this is cool. I'm
How
a
much shit
goat.
you got? That's how funny.
Exactly. Yeah.
How
How
big
much
is
you
your
got?
stash? That's how funny.
You know what? I gotta go. I'll be right back. I gotta go re-up with my boy. Goat Simulator, here I come.
That's right.
Game stop being fun. I gotta go.
Get some more. That's right. Yeah, I gotta get some ecstasy and mix it with some LSD or something. I don't know.
You're trying to die. That's what you got.
Yeah,
That so you trying to die.
Something. But yeah, I don't know what was going on with this. I guess somebody was trying to, I guess Dear God was one of those things where they were trying to, this is a message game or something. But I got lost in the buttness. I just can't. Butt was just too big. I'm sorry. But let's go on and get on to other things that I know that we're more interested in. Mr. Wiltz, I know the rest of the crew, we don't really do a whole lot of taking, but I mean, this Taken King thing is really, I guess I don't want to say it's taken over the whole Destiny crew by storm, but it's definitely getting a lot better reception than some of the other DLC from what I've been seeing abroad. What's your experience with it been?
I mean, my experience has been, firstly, given the last two DLCs, and kind of the before it came out, I think the week leading up to it, they did an update that kind of gave you a little bit of it changed taste. A lot of the dynamics already and kind of gave you a preview of it.
Mm-hmm.
So part of me was ready to hate it.
Why?
Because essentially,
because it changed everything, right?
Well, it changes everything, and let me sprawl this with a caveat that I do like it a lot, but it's kind of a big. On one hand, it's great, but on the other hand, it's a giant middle finger to anyone that bought Destiny a year ago. What they basically did
Chris, I can feel that over here, pal.
Yeah. What they basically did was because they rebalanced the weapons to bring in new weapons and armor and all this stuff, and they changed how a lot of the systems work. They kind of basically said, all your stuff is
garbage.
All going out the window. Like, yeah, there are literally green and blue guns that hit harder than your yellow guns from last year.
Nice.
It's insane.
Brilliant.
So
that's one way to get people playing the game. Like, yo, all that stuff you got is not worth anything.
So
get some more.
So if you bought Taken King, then it's all good and gravy. If you still trying to hold on to Destiny Year 1, I honestly don't know what you're doing.
So let me ask you this. So let me ask you this. I know they put the update.
Man. Like,
yeah, it is. It's smart.
Yeah, well, it's because I work in the IT world. That's what like Microsoft does to me all the time. They're like, hey, look, Office 2013,
yeah,
Office 2010 sucks.
Yeah, that's it. They made a lot of. I mean, the story actually makes sense a little bit now.
But get out of here,
right? I mean, the core campaign I played. It's like whatever. The core campaign is like 5 or 6 missions. Yeah, it's not even that. Maybe. Because what I did was, if you just jump all the way to the new level cap at level 40, you can knock the campaign out in maybe like a solid 2 or 3 hours.
Okay.
But that's, getting up. The point of it is not really the campaign. It opens up all the other stuff, like the new raid, which I haven't done yet. Because I don't have 10 hours in my evening set aside yet.
Exactly.
But, a new thing... something I found out today is like apparently there are a lot of hidden missions that they've added to the game, which sound really cool. So there's all these little, when you're running the normal quests in the campaign, like if you pay attention, there's little kind of side areas you can wander off to, and they give you little quick challenges that give you big rewards apparently. So it seems like it's essentially, they kind of made Destiny, it's the game that it probably should have been last year. And they brought everything up to speed.
Like super repetitive. It's super repetitive. It's like that was a turn off for me. I felt like I was playing COD in space.
It's a little. What they've done is, I mean, it's an MMORPG, so there's still a lot of a grind to it. What they've done is made the grind a little more. I never so much minded the repetitiveness. Was what I minded the most about Destiny is how much of a grind it is and how random it is and how not merit-based anything is. Like, you could grind your ass off for like a month straight and not get anything, and then some random person who only plays like once a week could just luck into
like the greatest weapon in the game.
Yeah, exactly. And so they've adjusted the system so it's a lot more smart about giving, it only gives you stuff for your class now. It only gives you stuff that it tries to give you things that you can actually use and need instead of just throwing the same stuff at you over and over again and not really paying it off.
So and the loot system's better.
Yeah, and what they've done too is they've installed this new quest system. And basically it's just a bunch of, the Vanguard, whoever's like, go here and get this, and go here and get this, and go here and get that. So it's a little more, what they have you doing basically is replaying a lot of the campaign maps, but in a different way. And they attach a little bit more, it feels less grindy to me, at least because they're trying to attach some kind of story element to it and not just saying, oh, why don't you just go to the moon and collect
some
helium and rocks. So it feels a lot, and there's crucible-based quests and things like that. So it's a lot more rewards-based in that regard. But yeah, I'm not 100% sold on the grind. And it's like, the way I've been telling people have been asking me about it is like, if you already liked Destiny, then you'll only like Taken King slightly better. So for whatever reason you love Destiny Year 1, you'll love Taken King a lot. If you didn't like Destiny at all, I wouldn't. If you weren't playing Destiny at all and you were just done with it, I wouldn't recommend Taken King to just like, oh, Destiny's back, you should start playing again. I wouldn't necessarily say that. Even though with all the updates they've made, everyone is kind of back at square one, kind of, sort of, but not really. their whole system is complicated. It's like,
yeah. I mean, a part of me was kind of glad they got rid of the whole light system, at least for like a upper level experience kind of thing, because that was driving me crazy. You know?
it's good now because you can actually hit the level cap just by grind, because now you're actually grinding for experience and XP to level up instead of just at certain point. Then you're just grinding for gear,
Right.
which you may or may not get. You can actually at least definitely get XP, so that's nice. But
Right. Yeah. That was an interesting change. It seemed like enough people complained about that in the loot system that they finally caved in and were like, okay, this experiment is done. We're sorry.
yeah. I mean, it was an interesting thought, but it's like you can't have it both ways. Like if my level is going to be dependent on me getting the right gear, then you need to provide me a path to give me gear and not just like a lottery system.
Right. Yeah. But
bitch.
exactly.
Right.
I don't know, man. Chris, I'm listening to you talking about this thing, and you know what? It doesn't sound any more fun than it was last year.
It's
Right.
It sounds more the same, really.
Like,
I was hoping you were going to say something to make me go out and spend this 39 bones real quick. I can't do it.
like, literally, like that's what I've been telling everybody. Like if you didn't think it was fun before, I can't say you'll find it more fun. Like it's
just more.
It's more fun, but not.
Well,
If
here's the
you've
thing.
never, I would say if you've never played Destiny ever before, period, is pick it up definitely. But if you weren't feeling it before and you weren't, like I said, I wouldn't recommend it if it were just like completely turned off by year one. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
Are the
it'll-
vehicles better?
Game is-
But like the handling on the vehicles sucked the last time.
I don't even really mess with the vehicles too much. They just kinda,
I mean, aside from just getting from point to point, was there ever a point where there was a real need for the vehicles aside from getting
Not
from point to
really.
point?
No,
I mean,
it's
Vehicles- no.
yeah.
They didn't even have weapons on it until you get to like a high level, right?
I don't think they have weapons on them, period. They just have.
yeah. I think
I
the
thought
only
it was a higher
time.
level.
Yeah.
That's to show you how much I played. But the only thing that it sounds like they added in was like some more maps and freaking
A few crucible
Team Deathmatch.
modes.
Yeah, because I think like I don't think Destiny's a bad game per se. The content and the modes they have are just too limited. You go through them too fast. So, like you were saying, they're throwing. You do like these different game modes, but you're replaying the same maps that you played already. So, and that's kind of where I lost it, because I went through the campaign on the original one. You hit your 5 hours, you got it done. Then they're showing you all these great game modes. I'm like, oh, I'm like, hold on, I was already here, right? And then they split up this one map into like 3 sections, and you keep repeating them over and over and over and over and over again. And then I'm like, you know what, this game bites, and that's what killed me about it. I like the fighting. I mean, I thought the game moved smooth. It looked nice. I mean, all those things were okay, but content was just. It seemed like you gave up too much money for a little bit of content, and
Garbage.
pretty much, and that's what you end up with. I mean, like, it was like you're playing Super Mario Brothers. You just kept going from level 1 to 8 over and over again. Hey, I did that 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
This cave looked the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of those. I didn't know this because I don't have a PS4, but a lot of the maps that they added to the Crucible, they just ported the PS4 maps over.
Oh wow!
Because I was
in
in there like day one, and I'm like, why are these people like wrecking me? Like, how can they know?
How do they know all this
how can
already?
They know these things that they know. And then
Right,
somebody was
because
like, "Oh,
they've
this is
been there before."
Yeah, and somebody was just like, "Oh, this is just the PS4 map." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, nice work, Bungie."
Yeah.
And and they added the new what's it called? The new competitive mode, Rift. I can't say I'm entirely feeling it.
Rift? What is that?
Yeah, the whole idea is Rift is kind of like, I'm not sure what it's called in other games, but it's basically pick up the thing and take the thing to the enemy's goal without getting killed.
Oh.
Capture the flag.
It's capture. It's what would it be called? Neutral flag. So mad,
So there's one flag rather than two flags.
Oh,
You
okay,
get it.
just one flag. And
Yeah.
okay.
Except they call it a rift. It's like a orb of light, and you have to take it through the team's rift.
Okay.
But I'm not entirely feeling it, partially because rather than creating maps for Rift, they've just added that game mode to the maps.
To the existing maps. Yeah.
And that style of mode is not really conductive to some of the maps. Like, they put the Rift, like, right in the middle of, like, some choke point hallway. And so you just get the two teams just kind of shooting back and forth at each other. And it's just whoever just kind of manages to sneak in through there. But it's like I'm playing a lot of the Rift modes, and I'm like, why would you ever do anything but just sit
shoot
on
people?
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is you can win. You don't have to score technically. You can just win by getting enough kills. So I'm playing.
So that kind of defeats the purpose in a
exactly.
sense, right?
So I'm sitting there like, why would anyone with half a brain do anything except sit on the Rift and snipe anyone that tries to pick
There you go.
Like, if your whole team just did that, you would probably win. And
winning strategy right there, Mr. Wiltz.
Yeah, so I've always had a bit of a problem with the modes that aren't just hardcore team deathmatch in Destiny, because it's kind of like there's just enough of a goal to distract people that care about the goal, but the people that want to kill, and it's like, well, what are we, what's the point? Right. What's the point capturing these zones when I'm sitting here capturing the zone and I'm just a target,
Oh, well.
But yeah, I don't know. I said, there's, Destiny has been...
It's more for the Destiny heads.
Yeah, it's not the big sweeping change I would have hoped for, and like they always do, they added a new area. So there's the Dreadnought, which is like this giant city-sized spaceship that Crota's dad came to kick your ass in.
I don't know. I can't say that I'm surprised though, because I mean, this is a game that had like a film budget and still failed. So I can't really like be surprised that, oh hey, Taken King, like, and me, I get pretty stubborn, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll see Taken King because the PS4 version was looking hot.
It does look fresh. It
was looking kind of sexy. But I was like, you know what? Let me just wait till some other sucker buys it. Sorry, Chris. And and they can tell me about it. I don't hear anybody talking about it on my Facebook. My Facebook is pretty live when new games come out. Everybody's talking about Metal Gear Solid 5, but nobody's talking about Taken King. So I wonder what that's about.
Well, the problem too is, like, I agree. If you take like Destiny when it very first released last year, it was pretty outright terrible, and it's like you can only improve on that so much without
completely
saying, like,
revamping
let's
everything.
Just create a whole new game from scratch,
right?
And I think that's kind of the hole Bungie's painted themselves into, is they put all this stuff in place, and it's kind of like, well, we can't just delete everything, so how do we make it so they kind of create this like Rubik's Cube for themselves, and it makes it not exciting for fans. I'm pretty much, people that play with me know I pretty much just go to the Crucible and that's it. Like, I give zero shits about the story at this point.
And honestly, I think just about everybody on my list does the same thing that plays Destiny. Every time I see them on, that's where they are, in the Crucible.
Yeah, and, I think it's, and then the thing was like, the Taken King, the actual core story was fairly interesting. Like, they did a lot of stuff with like actually making some of the NPCs feel like real characters for a change.
So that you actually know why they're all like chilling on the moon.
Yeah, like those 3 vanguards that are just standing around that table not doing shit. They actually gave them like some personality, and you see like, you kind of like, oh, okay, I see like why they're doing what they do, and there's some witty banter among them now. So it feels like they definitely sat down and thought about the story a little more and how to like, actually explain it to people in the game. Imagine the story in the freaking game, not going online and reading those dumbass Grimoire cards.
Oh my gosh, that was driving me crazy too.
You're the only one that agree with me with them stupid. Why
would you stick all that story? That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's retarded. No, I would play raids with people, and I'm just playing along, and then someone would, there's always that one person.
That one dude.
It's just like, oh yes, this is because the Shrine of Crota, and they did this and this, and I'm like,
shut up,
how
dude.
do you know this? When did they tell you this? And you're like, oh, you gotta go read the Grimoire card, and I'm like, what?
No, I'm not doing that.
Right. You gotta read the Grimoire cards so you understand.
It's like, dude, either give me a cutscene and get out my way.
That's like,
Right.
It wouldn't even be bad if they had the card there, but you could hit an audio button and it should read it for you.
Yeah, do like they do in Bioshock or Fallout or something like that. Little recording
put
things
the
like
cards in the game. That's all I meant. Just put them, you know. That's literally like going to the movie. Like, imagine going to see like the Hunger Games, and then nothing is explained, and it's everybody's in the theater like, oh, you gotta go read the book, dog.
Like, I'm here to watch the movie.
You know what? This is the Charlie Chaplin version. Audio, son.
Man. Cards. I'll be the first one. I probably got 1,000 of them. I've read maybe 2 of them.
This is a pistol. All right, thanks. Great.
Yeah. But yeah, there's just so much. It's just like, how do you change it without making a whole new game, and how do you
continue it and make it so that
and I'm kind of at the point, and I feel like a lot of people with the campaign is like, a lot of the quests are kind of sneaky ways of getting you to go do year 1 stuff over again so they can re-explain the story to you better.
Right.
And
for those that didn't read the Grimoire cards,
yeah, and I'm too far gone. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm like, all right,
give me something new. Do something.
Like, all right, kill Crota. His dad is pissed. All right, cool.
That's all you need. That's the story.
And even that, I'm just like, all right, fine.
Okay. Oh, well, Taken King is getting a meh. Everybody's giving it a meh, apparently. It looks like it'll be one of those DLC that few people will be playing. Give it like another month or so, and it'll die off.
I'm telling people it'll do until probably
the holiday season
November,
stuff.
when you get Halo 5 and Black Ops 3 and Final Fantasy, when all the new stuff starts coming out, I think,
Hey, yeah, it'll tide you over.
Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna, but it should definitely not be the last game you buy this year.
Nice. But with that in mind, I know there is a game that recently came out that has been getting glowing reviews. That is very interesting that this game hasn't really gotten a whole lot of promotion though, but it's getting a lot of glowing reviews and a lot of people are talking about it. Until Dawn.
Yes.
And I'm certain you agree with me on this, Makita. It's one of those games where it's like and I don't have it, but just from what I've heard, that a lot of people were thrilled about the way this game was made and the fashion it was made into.
I have so much to talk about when it comes to Until Dawn.
You
know what? I gotta
go with it, girl. Go.
I didn't know about Until Dawn until I think I was looking up something else on PSN. I was like, you know how you like scroll through shit through it just to see what's on sale or whatever.
Yeah.
And I saw this Until Dawn thing, and then I played the trailer, and I was like, this looks like a freaking movie. It doesn't look like a game. So I'm watching, I'm like, okay, you know what? I can dig it. It didn't really show, like, any gameplay or anything like that. But the shit looks scary.
It pulled a Dead Island on you or something? That trailer?
Right. Yeah, exactly. It looked really scary, and it was like, oh, choose, you can choose, like, the fate of the people that you are controlling. So I'm like, should I cop this game or should I not cop this game? But something, I don't know, it left an impression in me, and I'm pretty laid back about games, like I said before, I'll wait till some other sucker buys it, and then I'll see what happens. No, because I've been burned before. We all have been burned before.
Heck yeah.
So I get the game, and the very first time I streamed it, I said I was going to stream it because as the days got closer, it was kind of hyped, but it wasn't really hyped in a media sense. It was like on social media, I saw people like, oh, I'm going to get Until Dawn, whatever.
Yep.
And I streamed it. This game, first off, this game is gorgeous. Like, absolutely gorgeous. These are like some crazy ass graphics that I was just mesmerized by. I wish I had a bigger TV. If I could have bought a bigger TV or rented a bigger TV just to play that game, I would have done it. It's just gloriously impossible. As technology is amazing. Like, you can see everything from like hair waving, you could see like the eyes, the pupils dilating. It was just, everything was just so crazy about it. But what made Until Dawn unique for me was that, like I mentioned before, it was just like a movie. Like, it had an intro like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
They had they looked like every single one of the actors that did like the voices.
Mm-hmm.
They were actually in the game, I think, except for one person.
Okay.
They were actually in the game. The first person that you play, I think her name is Sam, but in real life, I think it's Hayden Pantier. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name.
Panty
the
something.
chick from,
cheerleader?
from Heroes. Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
That's her.
Okay.
But the premise of the game is basically these. It was like it had a little bit of a I Know What You Did Last Summer and a little bit of a Scream feel to it.
Slasher film kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They were up at this cabin in the mountain, and people being immature, and these two twin sisters. One name was Hannah, one was Beth. The other, one of the twins, Hannah, liked this guy named Mike, and this other girl named Emily liked Mike, or for whatever, whatever. They both liked this douchebag. He wasn't even all that, okay? And they were picking on her because she was kind of nerdy. And what they did was they were all in the room, and they kind of like set her up and were like, oh, come to the room, I want to see you, blah, blah, blah. She's taking off her clothes, but they're all hiding in different places and like taping her and shit, right? Uh-huh. So they pop out, like little fucking creeps. Right. So they jump out, they're like, ah. So she's embarrassed. She runs out. This is the middle of winter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she runs out, and her twin sister, you are playing Beth, her twin sister at first. And so you run out after her, you go out into the woods in the dead of winter in the middle of a blizzard, you're looking for her. And the tutorial is it's really cool because you find these totems and they stand for different things. Like, there could be a black totem, which means that it's a clue that somebody there's a loss. Something's going to happen. Somebody's going to die or could possibly die if you make the wrong decision. Or it could be yellow. It could be a guidance totem where it's like, it'll give you a clue on what you can do so that that person could possibly, make it more of a chance for them to not die. Mm-hmm. Or it'll tell you like what's happening next, clues that you need to look for, kind of like a premonition. Mm-hmm. And they had, I forget all these other totems that they had, but they were like maybe like 5 or 6 different colors. And they went out into the blizzard, they found it. And I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point because you guys are gonna find out. It's not really a spoiler, but both of the twins fell off a cliff.
Okay.
They fell off a cliff and died, and then that was like, I'll leave it at that. They died, and then the game itself is when they came back to the mountain because they had a brother who was up there too. They were invited back up to the mountain for the anniversary, and I have no idea. Like, this shit was like such. One of those movies where one of those games, kind of like a movie, where it's like, God damn it, white people, why haven't you learned anything?
Like, don't go that way.
Don't go. Like, okay, if Jay, God forbid, Jay and Chris would have fought for goddamn cliff, BJ, if you would invite me to the cliff next year, I'd be like, are you fucking crazy? I'm not going back up to that sky.
Because they just fell off the cliff.
They fell off the cliff. Why would I want to relive that? But for whatever reason, people are like, hey, I just want to party, and then I just want to have sex and party, and then weird shit starts happening, and people start freaking dying. So it's kind of like you gotta find out who it is, like a mystery. You gotta find out who it is, but then there's a twist to it because there's a whole different thing going on. The minute you think you know who it is, it's not that person, and then there's something else that's going on, and you're just like, oh wow, this is a whole new level of crap. Now, the things that I didn't really care for, but I kind of understood, were the quick time events. Because there were certain moments. The reason why I didn't like it because I panicked, but
because you were scared.
Yeah, because I panicked, but they tried to make a great use of the PS4 controller. Mm-hmm. Like, they really try to use every bit of it, even like the touchpad, the motion controllers. Like if something was, making noise and you had to be quiet, you had to hold the controller really, really still so you wouldn't make noise. Yeah, right? Like if you needed to light a match, you could strike the touchpad so you can light a match. It was really really cool. Yeah, it was nice. And
immersive experience.
Yeah, the controls were they were reactive, which I love, because how sometimes you have a hard time with getting the controls in and stuff, and the game doesn't respond. Everything was pretty much perfect about this game. There are a lot of you can lose a lot of people. I made it out my first try. I made it out with almost everyone.
Okay.
Everybody else that I watched, almost everybody died.
So how many people are there? I mean, I've got a picture up here that shows like there's, what is that?
It's like 8 people in that picture.
6, 7.
There's 6 people.
Well, there's one. There's a little girl behind the girl in the middle, I think. So in this picture, there's like 7 people.
Oh.
So I think it was 8. You started out with 8.
Okay.
Counting the twins.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. So here's what's good. You get to make different choices. Each person has a different set of personality traits.
Mm-hmm.
And they change, and they lower or they go higher, depending on what choices you make. Like they may have Sam may have a relationship with Mike where they're playful, but if you make certain choices, then their reactions to each other may change based on those choices. Like if I'm nosy, if I'm looking in your backpack and Mike catches you for whatever reason,
then you're a scumbag.
He doesn't trust you. Yeah, he doesn't trust you because you don't respect his space. So things like that change. Even the little things that you think wouldn't affect the game will totally affect the game.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was a thing. I wish I had more like screenshots, but
yeah, I've been trying to put a few of them up there. Like I've got one up there now where it just shows Emily, and it has a few of her traits up there: intelligent, resourceful, persuasive. I mean, does it like go through each character and do that as they're talking or something?
Yes, like when you first meet them, it pops up. And they have this, it's based on the butterfly effect. So every little thing that you do changes the future. And there's so many different choices. There's different clues to find out what actually happened in the game. Like they have these little things that are like left all around place, like pictures, and how mystery games can be. You gotta find it out so that you can find out the whole story, and things just kind of like piece together for you. Again, I don't want to spoil the game for anybody. I would definitely recommend this game. And I'm pretty salty about games in general. This is a really, really, really great game. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. I do feel that, it was good enough for its time. Like 10 hours of gameplay wasn't that bad. But if I hadn't been streaming it and waiting for other people, because I had the audience kind of like pick what I do next and stuff, it would have been shorter. So I think it probably would have been somewhere around 7.5, 8 hours instead of the 10 hours that I streamed. I think it could have been a little bit longer, but the story was great. The graphics were fantastic. The controls were responsive. If I had to give any grade for this game, it would probably be somewhere around maybe like a 9, 8.5 or 9. It was pretty good.
That's pretty high praise.
Yeah.
It really does sound like it's got an innovative kind of approach, because in a way the way you were explaining it kind of reminded me of Beyond Two Souls or whatever that I tried out a while back. And I wasn't necessarily feeling that one, and it wasn't 100% that it was just because it was an interactive game. It was because, I guess for me, it was because I didn't quite get into the story. The story was losing me, and I was like, okay, the little action sequences weren't very actiony. Right. And the little ghost that was going around with old girl, I was like, okay, this ghost needs to do something for real, because it's not doing nothing. But this actually, you don't have to do a whole lot of explaining to really get the concept of Until Dawn. And the second you say slasher movie, keep everybody alive, go. That gets people interested. Like because I mean, at least at that point, then you can't fault the dumbass character in the game for doing something, because you the one that told them to do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what made me feel like really, really nervous, because I'm like, okay, if I give this person this flare gun, what if I need it later? Mm-hmm. What if I need this? Do I really care about this person? Do I you get such an attitude. There are some characters that you genuinely do like, and some characters where you're like, yo, fuck you.
You dead.
You can die. You die.
Just go.
I had that happen to one of my characters, and I was like, and it backfired on me because they ended up living.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna die.
Mm-hmm. You were trying hard to let them die, right?
I thought that was, and I was like, nah, see, you're being a jerk. You gotta go. Mm-hmm. And they ended up living, but.
That's how most of the movies go anyway. It's like the person you really don't like, you're like, oh, come on, let him die. I'm like, nope. He's like one of the last couple of people left.
I thought it was the wrong one to make, and I thought it was going to lead to their death, but it ended up backfiring on me. It turned out to be the right decision.
Way to go, I think.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was pretty pooped about that. But yeah, Until Dawn, it's a great game. If you need to waste some time, I think it would be one of those games. I would be okay with waiting for it to go down a little bit, at a Christmas or a holiday sale or something like that, or renting it, because I said it's not that long of a game. I mean, it has some replayability factor. If you screwed up and you got everybody killed and you want to try again, there's some replayability factor for it. But for people like me that are super anal and over analytical, we may save almost all the people at once, and the replayability factor is kind of
we actually got a person in the chat room, Sober Child, saying big F you to the character Emily.
Oh yeah.
So I suppose Emily is one of those asshole characters.
Yes. Oh, Emily.
But yeah, like we were saying before, it looks like it's getting some good ratings across the board, so it's making a good impression.
You know what though? When I hear about games like this, like Until Dawn, and then I think about Dear God, it just makes me realize how much Xbox needs to step it up. Because I can't tell you how many times I hear about a game and I'm like, yo, like Until Dawn, I was like, yo, that sounds dope.
Yes.
PlayStation 4 exclusive. I'm like, God damn it.
Yes, it is.
Oh, was it PlayStation 4
Yes, it is. It's a PS4 exclusive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you go, and then you go on Xbox Live, like, hey, throw me a bone here, and then you got Dear God.
Well, I mean, to their credit, I know. That one game I've been trying to get Jay to play with me a couple times, Ark Survival Evolved. That's going to be on the Xbox. I think it's going to be on both, actually. But yeah, that's an absolutely fun game.
To have the horror titles on lock for some reason too.
Yes, for some reason Xbox doesn't have any of those. It's like all the little scare tactics games are all PS4 games.
Yeah, like when PT was out, I was like, this could easily be like, damn it, Microsoft.
It was like, nope, we don't like scary stuff. Sorry.
I mean. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, another thing I thought was interesting. I know.
It's not Slender Man.
For some reason, I know they had somewhere in the news. I know they were saying that Microsoft's little indie game outfit or initiative or whatever, that they basically canceled it.
What? No way! When did that happen?
Recently, what was it called? id at Xbox, ID at Xbox, or something like that. That they, they were like, look, it's not going very well, so we're getting rid of it.
You know why I'm surprised about that? Because I remember when Xbox One, before Xbox One came out, that was like one of their main things. They were like, we really want to have like this whole thing with indie games where people can come on. They were sending out like these developer kits like crazy. They were like, we really want to have more indie games on there, and for smaller companies to put it on there, blah blah blah. And Xbox fans was like, yeah, PlayStation 4 is not going to have the indie game, blah blah, whatever. So I'm like, I'm waiting for it, and I didn't see anything come out from it. This is why I don't have an Xbox One, because
there's stuff coming out. It's just that, and this is a grind that I think everybody that has an Xbox, this is something that I know Jason and I talked about when we first got the Xbox. And I'm looking on here to see if I can find that again, and it doesn't look like I can't find the thing that says that it's canceled yet. But for some reason, I saw something that said it was canceled,
and they yanked that out, and that was where you looked for indie games.
They don't categorize the indie games well at all, and they just kind of throw them all in there along with all the other other games, so you don't even know that it's an indie game.
And I can see the argument for doing that, because you want to just, I can see the argument for lumping everything in together.
They're like, hey, just make it a regular actual game, because a game is a game. You shouldn't have to call it an indie game, but whatever.
But I think as a developer, I think developers are probably pretty realistic about, what it is, and then, you put my indie game right next to Black Ops 3, and it's like, oh gee, I wonder what everyone's clicking on,
Yeah. And let me clarify. I just found the article.
It's the problem with the squares.
Yeah, the little squares. I guess that's what it is.
Well, wait until the November update come out. Huh? We're getting Windows 10, pal.
Yeah, I know, right?
Better.
And let me clarify. I just found the article. It isn't the indie games portion of it isn't dead. What they actually canceled was the Xbox Live indie games program that they had for the 360. That is gone.
Oh.
And they're keeping the ID at Xbox for more formal and structured program for finding. So apparently they had different programs for finding and developing indie games on, the different platforms. So they were saying, oh, okay, they like the ID at Xbox more formalized way of submitting indie games rather than the old one that was on the Xbox 360 platform. Clarification. So that's what it is.
They need to approve some of them bitches, because
this
shit is rough. I mean,
well, let me see if I can find.
The same problem as Jason. Like, I look at the descriptions of some of the games, and I'm like, and then the game have like 0.2 stars on it, and you're like, no, I'm not.
They're giving away the crap. I mean, even I don't know if you guys know, a few years back when PS when it was on the 3, they started giving out games, right? And everybody was just like, all Microsoft to do that. And I think they were just in such a hurry to keep up. That's what they're just pulling anything off the shelf just to give away, those 2 free games a month. And that's what you're getting. I think there's probably about 4 games I've actually played.
Okay.
Holy Guacamole, which is pretty good.
Now, let's see here.
There's the other one with this little kid, and you had a wolf. I forgot the name of it. That was really good.
Never Alone?
Yeah.
Yeah, Never Alone. Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I played it on both systems. I have it. And,
I bought it on Steam, and I bought it because it was on sale, but it looked pretty cool.
Never played?
No, it looked pretty cool.
I think you'll like it.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty good as well.
Yeah.
I actually did find a list.
I think I did that one too, and I actually enjoyed that.
I actually did find a list of the titles that at least they spoke about at E3. I'm sure there's more than just this list.
No, they have them, but like Chris said, man, what are they doing? Like
I mean, they're getting released. I mean, they're out there, but it's like, because they're indie games, I guess they're not really getting a lot of they're not really getting a lot of, I guess, description or, promotion or anything, because they're there. Because, that one game I was telling you about, Sword Coast Legends, that I'm really excited about, because it's like D&D, and then you can be a dungeon master and all of that kind of stuff. That's an indie game, and that's actually coming through the program on the Xbox. Survival is also, that's an indie game. Ark Survival, that's an indie game that's coming through the program as well.
I didn't know. Ark Survival's indie?
Yeah, it's an indie title. I'm going through the list here, and unfortunately, there's a lot of games that I have no clue what any of them are. I've heard of Starpoint Gemini 2. That is one. Tachyon Project, I've kind of heard of that one. The Long Dark, that was another one. I think a group called Hinterland had started that was getting a little bit of airplay here and there.
The Long Dark, that's like a
the Black Ops 3, and it's just not going to happen.
Right.
Hey, look, we have random game or Black Ops 3. Ooh.
No, the Long Dark was a pretty good game. I was watching. I wasn't gonna buy it, but I was watching somebody else play it, and it seemed like my kind of thing. The survival, the whole survival aspect. It's more of it's like H1Z1, but it's in the wintertime without zombies. Right.
It's like kind of post-apocalyptic without zombies, and you're out in the elements trying to survive kind of deal. Yeah. They're there, they're out there, but to Jason and Chris's point, it's like they're there, but who knows that they're there unless you're like a real, indie game hunter, that already knows the name of the game and just want to know whether or not it's coming to Xbox or not. You know what I mean?
With this new interface they're supposed to be, the next big thing there.
Right.
To see what it looks like, because they're supposed to revamp that whole interface in November, so it should be a big fat update.
Right, yeah.
Let's hope it's not like 300 gigs and take up all the space on my Xbox.
It's just going to take 2 days to download.
Yes, but it'll make your game run, what was it saying? It'll make everything run 20% faster.
Yeah. The update's just going to be Halo 5, that's all.
Yep, there you go.
That's just going to sneak that on everybody's system, like, our sales for Halo 5.
Oh yeah, Sober Child was saying that Sober Child was saying in the chat room that Xbox needs another State of Decay or Bastion type title, a cheap indie game that's been well received.
They really do.
Mm-hmm,
I want to like State of Decay. I hate State of Decay.
I love it. I've been playing that game out. I love it.
It's the thought of it. That's what it's just like you said, more games like that. Like I feel like Xbox kind of plays it. I feel like Xbox is kind of like your local Cineplex, and it just kind of plays it safe. Where it's like these are all the big titles, these are all the summer hits. But then I feel like PlayStation has that, but it's also kind of like your little indie draft house art theater too.
Yeah, it's got the Sundance Film Festival tacked right next to everything.
They're taking a lot more chances with the content and just like when Makita was saying, like, holding the controller, to not make noise. I'm like, that's crazy. I would love to do that on the Xbox, and Xbox has I can't even remember do they even still come out with Kinect games?
No.
Do they? What is that?
What is that? What Dance Central 10 is out, so you get that.
Yeah, that's it. They abandoned the whole Kinect thing.
They got this great piece of hardware that's just sitting on top of people's TV, not doing anything.
And you know what? When I bought mine, when we bought our Xboxes, you could only get it with that. And I took that thing down after about 3 weeks because I thought it was looking at me. So.
It's looking at me.
Got the information for Skynet.
Under my computer desk. I haven't pulled that thing out yet. So
I think that it's weird that they don't have many games. I remember, was it 2013? Before this is when Xbox One was still known as Durango. Okay, I went and I played. What was it? It was some exercise game. It was like dancing and stuff. And I would think with that type of technology, it was so real. Like it held every movement. Mm-hmm. I would think with that technology, they would have more games. Like shit. Like if you have a Kinect and you're forcing me to get a Kinect, you better have some games.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They screwed everybody over.
the Xbox One Kinect apparently can sense your heart rate and your pulse.
Right. Yeah, they put
when
that
you
out
think
there.
about that, right off the bat, you think horror games.
Right. The thing can change the way it does stuff based on your heart rate and all
Right.
other kind of stuff. Yeah, that would be
And
dope.
you know, it's like, I can't cheat for this, but I'm like, as amazing as the HoloLens looks, I'm skeptical as to whether they'll actually deliver content for it.
Yeah, I don't think right off the bat. I mean, the best I got out of my Kinect was getting a technical foul for cursing at NBA 2K15. That's what I got. I'm like, what the hell? They gave me a T, and I'm like, oh, because I'm cursing. Okay, well,
Yeah, like I think HoloLens is gonna be dope for mine. Like all the Minecraft kids are gonna love it, and everyone else is gonna be like, okay, this is nice.
Well, yeah, I mean they've already talked up HoloLens, and they were like, for the most part, HoloLens is going to be something that they gear towards more business application rather than the game.
Yeah, it's going to be.
They aren't really focusing that on the whole gaming thing.
It with engineering. I mean, like for guys that do engineering, you're probably going to see it go with a lot of AutoCAD, like a lot of Quark stuff,
a lot of drafting, that kind of deal.
Yeah, but it's weird because I've seen engineers really excited for it.
I was excited for it. You know, I don't like Minecraft. I feel like I should like it. Everybody who, no, I'm serious, because I get a lot of flack when I say I don't want to play that shit, and people are like, "What? You don't like Minecraft? That's crazy! How do you not like Minecraft? You get to build stuff." I'm like, I don't, I pay all this money for great graphics. I'm not playing the freaking Minecraft, okay? But I saw the HoloLens, and I saw what it could do, and I'm like, oh shit, I will play Minecraft. If I get the HoloLens, I would play Minecraft like that because I like it. It's interactive. If I can do that. But
a whole different kind of interface would completely change Minecraft a lot for a lot of people.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, how much
it's not going to be cheap. That headset is not going to be cheap.
I mean, when you look at completely wireless. It's wireless. It has battery packs all around it. It has sensors in the back and the front, and it has this wacky 3D camera that's in there.
Right. So I mean even if it's going to be, I think it's going to be priced more than a console, honestly.
Oh, twice as much, I'm saying.
Yeah. It's going to be priced more. So and that's a part of the reason why they really aren't focusing on trying to make this into a gaming accessory, because they know that regardless of the fact that it'd be cool to play Minecraft with it, who's going to give their kid an $800 pair of goggles or whatever just to play Minecraft for like 4 or 5 hours? They're not going to let the kid touch it. They like, no. They gonna be like, yo, you're not touching this thing. Daddy's gonna be using this joker. Right, exactly.
HoloLens if you love your kids.
Right. But I mean, kind of to Jason and Makita's point, I mean, the whole concept behind using the Kinect and having the Kinect with the Xbox was supposed to be a whole new way, of course, to interact with your games and have your games interact with you. And since they saw that they weren't getting the sales that they were that they wanted with that whole bundle, no, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. The developers were actually doing it, because I remember I was, when I touched a little bit on this when I was talking with the Harmonix guys, because they were in the midst of developing more than one game that was going to use the Kinect, because they ended up only releasing the what was it called, Fantasia. Right. And they just released that last year, but they were planning on releasing more games, to the same effect of Fantasia. But Microsoft saw the sales numbers. They wanted to get the price down. They noticed that everybody wasn't particularly happy with the voice recognition or something like that of the Kinect, and they just boom pulled it off. So now that severely limits the market that you're going to be selling to. Because that was the reason why developers didn't jump on board the first time, because you had to buy the Kinect separate, and nobody saw that it worked. So they were like, okay, the market of the people that are going to pay an extra $200 for this, somewhat good working, accessory was very small. So the developers were like, look, we're not going to get more than like a few thousand sales for whatever game that we put out there. So there, it doesn't make market sense for them to develop for it. Whereas
I think they had other problems too. From a technical standpoint, the device was eating up too much juice off the console. So
That too.
doesn't,
They
you know,
noticed that. It limited what their, you know, it
Right.
limited all the processing power
thing
that they could
can
really use.
And the problem with that, and I can understand why, because if you sell it separately, you know, you would have to, you know, charge maybe like $200-300 for it if you put its own RAM and processor in it to handle all that other stuff, and that would leave, you know,
which would do what you really wanted to do and make it as, you know, as innovative as you want it. But
if you want to connect in an Xbox bundle, you're paying $600 for it.
It's that price point. Yeah, you can't put out a whole Xbox One bundle, core bundle with this, you know, brand new shiny Kinect and have the whole console cost like $600, almost $700. That's just not going to sell.
Especially when I think, you know, around this time people are getting into games, and I think what they're lacking right now is that they're trying to push a media center, not a gaming console. And you know what, people that are buying the PS4, that's where you're getting all the sales from, and the gamers are speaking. They want to play games. They don't want a media center. You know, hey, it's nice to have all these other features on it, but the core.
I don't want apps. I want games.
I want games. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's great that I have this, but 90% of this thing, I want to be able to clickety clack. That's what they want.
Right.
Okay, so you know what? Just touching on that point, it's just funny how, like, remember when the name of the Xbox One was first announced, and they were like, we don't want this to be a gaming console. We want this to be a media powerhouse.
Right.
You know, we want this to be and yada yada yada, blah blah, whatever.
And it's always going to
then
be
had the
online,
Xbox
and we're going to take your
TV.
data.
Right, exactly. And you know, all the government stuff came out, and nobody knew what the regional was, and blah blah, whatever. And then, like a few months down the line, there was a report that Microsoft said that they weren't gonna focus on the whole like media powerhouse thing. They were just gonna keep it gaming, because people were like, look, this is cool, but I want an Xbox One because I want a freaking game. You're not giving me like the games, like you're missing the games. And they were like, okay, we're gonna focus on that.
Netflix on.
Right,
yes.
exactly. No, seriously.
Yeah.
And Skype on, like, okay, I got a computer I can Skype on. But now I see that, you know, like you guys said, they're going back to that thing. It's like they're trying to sneak back.
They don't have a choice.
The
They don't have a
media.
choice.
Yeah, they don't have a
They're
choice
losing
but to
the
go
sales.
back.
They're losing the sales. I mean, like every month, I think, except for like one in this year and a half, 10 years that these things have been out, I think they've had 1 month of good sales, and I think it's because
No, they've been getting more sales,
No, they're getting more sales,
starting
but
this
they're
summer. This summer,
they're
their
not
sales
beating out.
numbers have been going up. They're not
they're going
beating.
up.
They're not beating PlayStation by any means, but they have been
Okay.
getting better sales.
Well, tell delusional Xbox fans that, because I've been telling people, I'm like, look, you know, I don't play like the console wars bullshit. I used to be a huge Xbox fan, but you know, I'm like, you know, right is right and wrong is wrong. And Microsoft tried to get a little skeevy with their advertisements and their wording and things like that, and
I blame
you know,
on that
it
guy
bit
that
them.
was there before. I don't know if you remember his-
Dan Matrick or something like
Is that his name? Yeah,
I think
'cause-
that's his name.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because there were a couple of sneaky things that they were trying to do, and it turned people off. The
Yeah.
first, it's going to be a media thing. I think people were trying to swallow that. The always online thing drove people nuts.
Mhm.
That was a strong point. And then when he tells you, well, if you don't like it,
That's we have an Xbox 360.
364.
Right,
Yeah.
that was his answer. That was like,
Right.
well, you lost
And-
a huge
and
amount of
week
people.
later, he's gone, and now they're still trying to clean up that mess from before, because just off of word of mouth, people were going to buy that Xbox One.
Mhm.
They had it in the bag, and PlayStation was like, "What?" And the first thing they said was, "This is an all gaming console. That's all it's going to.
Pretty
We're going
much.
to have apps, but it's going to be a powerhouse for games." And it
Right.
is.
Mhm.
It is.
You know-
I actually, it's funny now. PS3, I didn't play that much. I play my PlayStation 4 more now than my Xbox One.
Yeah.
And
That's a lot of
and
people.
I really like my Xbox One, but it's just not doing it for me as far as a lot of things go. You know, so
You know what's occurring to me hearing you guys talk about this? I just have to put this out there. Is Microsoft the new Sega?
Oh man, that's
because-
cold.
I don't know.
Cold.
No, seriously.
I don't know.
Because I feel like I feel like I've seen this movie before. Like, I feel like this is the same thing Sega tried to pull with just crazy peripherals and add-ons and just and it bit them in the ass. And it seems like Microsoft is coming down that same road. Maybe not as aggressively as Sega
Not as
did.
aggressively. I think they're trying to pull
Sega really tanked, but
yeah,
pull it back. But I don't.
But I can easily see in 10 years somebody pulling out a vintage photo of like, oh, remember the Xbox One? It's got the Kinect on it.
Sober Child, you're like, oh no, he did.
Just a pile of stuff stacked on it. Like, remember this? And then all that people did with it was watch HBO and Netflix and all this.
Honestly, there's a lot of people that's all they do.
Let me tell you,
that's very true. A lot of people, that's what it is.
It's like a transformer, man. I had to put on the wings. I had to put.
Right.
And remember, you had the piece for the 2 cartridges, the one that go on the top and the back.
Yes.
All the little things, plug it to the side and to the front.
The CD player on the side too.
Yeah. It looked ridiculous with all those peripherals all stuck to it.
Yeah, my friends would come over and be like, yo, what's that? I'm like, yo, that's Megatron.
That's devastator.
No, you ain't got all the pieces.
Voltron, form up Xbox One.
I think that Microsoft bit off a little bit more than they could chew. I think they got a little cocky with the Xbox 360.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, the Xbox 360 they got a little bit cocky. I think they had a lot of great ideas, but I feel that Microsoft
a little bit even more than that.
They put the cart before the horse.
Well, yeah, I think a little bit more than that happened with Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft, I think they got a little bit. I don't know if this is the right expression to say. Long in the tooth. I mean, when they got the 360 and they saw how successful it was, and the content that they could put on it to make it almost like a media center, they got into this big fantasy world where they were like, okay, and you can kind of see it with Windows 10 with how they're trying to merge everything that they have and to say, okay, if you've got this one piece of software, you can use it on any platform, on any piece of hardware that has Microsoft on it, right? Exactly. There you go, Jason. That's exactly what it is. It's like they're looking at Apple and they're saying, okay, we need to be more like Apple. We need more hardware to stick all of our software on so that we can just do something. And that's what they tried to do with the Xbox One. They were like, okay, Apple may have their iPad or their iPhone or whether it's dominating, but we're gonna launch off of the 360 springboard and we're gonna make Xbox One our dominant piece of hardware, and that's where we're going to launch off our one family.
They're gonna have a tough time with that because they're trying to.
Well, they already failed that.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing.
I mean, you see what happened with the Surface. The Surface isn't doing well at all. The Xbox One isn't doing well at all. It's like,
you know what? Stick to what you know. You're a software company.
Right.
You don't build hardware.
Oh, okay? They do now.
The Xbox was a leap for you, and the 360 worked. And now they're trying to. You can't. Let me tell you, nobody can do what Apple do because Apple is Apple. They're gonna rock that to the. You can't. Their hardware is just superior to anything. What made Microsoft so good from jump was they made no hardware.
Yes.
They said, let them worry about it. You know what? And software is where it's at. Hey, listen, you want to get an alien PC? Put my software on it.
There you go.
Put my software on it. And that's it. That's all you care about. Just make the software good. And if they would stick to that concept, we'd be fine. I don't know who's in there lying to them, telling them, hey, we can make Surface 3s and we're going to put all these things together with your Nokia phone.
I mean, you saw it. You saw it with their upper level guys. That's why their upper level kept shifting around.
Well, right now, they didn't try to make a Microsoft Watch. I bet you that's what the next thing coming. Man.
They probably already have, and they just didn't want to tell anybody.
Yeah, so like, and that's what I mean, and don't bite Apple, man. Apple is just they're gonna wreck you. You can't go in their ball in their playpen and try to do that.
No, they already have.
You really can't. And I'm speaking as somebody that used to work for Apple. Okay, like there are some hardcore people. When I was like, what's the Apple Watch? I was like, so you want me to spend what was it like? I think it was like $400, $300 to $400 for a watch that I really can't do much on. I'm pretty much just buying it because it's an Apple Watch. But they were like people that came in there there was this like one person that wanted a $10,000 watch. You know the
Oh
the
yeah,
gold
yeah,
rose quartz.
yeah. The gold jump.
Wow.
Yup.
I was like, for real, you got money like that? You gonna give Apple your money? Give me that money. You know, Apple can get away with that. Apple can get away with that. Microsoft can't get away with that. You're not
Not
getting
to
away
say it
with
again.
that, Microsoft. You're not. No, you're
No.
not getting away with that.
And I like
No.
Microsoft, the things that they've done. You know, I like they're very innovative. They, you know, those
They're
guys
trying.
make this software, they rock. They do.
Mhm.
They really do.
Yeah.
But that hardware
think-
stuff, they need to.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're gonna end up just like Sega. They're gonna end up, you know, I think down the road, Microsoft is gonna be known like, yo, Microsoft makes great games, but I wouldn't be surprised if Halo 7 was on the PS5 or whatever.
Well, that's the
they're playing
thing.
at the time.
I don't even know 100% that Microsoft necessarily makes that great a game. When it comes from their studio, the Microsoft Studios, there really aren't that many games out there, if you think about it, that are like
That's true.
great. You know, in terms of Microsoft IP, you know, it's like, I don't know.
It'd be interesting to see them go the PC route and have a third-party console, but with their operating system on it.
Well, like a proprietary one.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if someone, you know, have a company go in and say, hey, we want to build a console, but we don't have software for it.
Right. So we'll start building your hardware,
So,
and you just
so have this other company on the hardware end and just let Microsoft handle, you know,
And you
the
know what's
squares.
so funny? That's basically what they did when they bought DOS and Windows, and they made Windows 3.1. They struck a deal with IBM.
Mhm.
So IBM worried all about the hardware, and they did the software. And
Right.
that's it.
'Cause
And that's what opened the window for them. That's how they became
Yeah.
big.
Mhm.
Because I guarantee you somewhere out there there's a company that's got plans for a kick-ass console, but they're like, you know what, we don't have
The software.
we don't have the software to get this thing up and running.
Well, I mean, isn't that what the whole Steam machine thing is? You know, I mean, there's a lot of
Ideally.
companies. You know, you
But yeah,
kind
but
of think
see,
of it. That's
the
what a
thing
lot
with
of companies are doing. They're kind
but
of just
the problem
plopping
with that
Steam
is-
clients on
I
there.
don't even know what the Steam machine is for. Like, I don't know why it exists.
It's all. It's
It is
Android.
kind of
That's
weird,
all
isn't
is.
it?
It's weird because it's like it's a
It's a PC that has
console
a
for
big picture
people who
mode
play PC games.
on their
But then you
TV.
want to play on your TV. But
That's
my
it.
thing is that if I want to play my games on my TV, why wouldn't I just get an HD TV cord and just put it to my
Exactly.
TV?
Like every
Like,
why would I
it's
do
like I
that?
don't know anyone who wants to. Yeah, I don't know anyone who has a computer who wants to play on their TV that's just like. If
I
only
have
there was
to.
some sort of machine that did this.
Right. But you know what?
There was a way for me to have my
Apparently there are
But wait.
people that really want to do that because like their pre-orders are actually sold out.
Yeah.
There's like their early pre-orders were sold out. So I'm like, okay, there's got to be some people that actually want this.
Yes,
but I think
there are.
I think that it's people. Yeah, but I think
those-
that it's people that just buy shit just to buy shit. 'Cause
Right,
there's
it's not real
reason
PC
for you can
heads.
spend $10 on an HD TV cord, and I can connect my TV to my freaking computer
Mhm.
and play all my games I want on my computer. But you know what?
Right.
On my TV, but I'm not usually do that. I'm usually at my PC, like, you know, like.
Right.
I feel most of those pre-orders are, like you said, people who just buy it to buy it, and I feel like a lot of those pre-orders are probably people who want to just take it apart.
Probably.
It's just
You got
hackers
a
who want
point.
to just get in there and mod it and see what they can do with it and see, you know,
Probably.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
a gang of
Those things
YouTube
are-
videos
those
like,
things
look
are
what I do with my
pretty
Steam
good.
machine.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to end up happening with it. But we'll see.
It's like, what was that console that got the kick? The Ouya?
The Ouya, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
It's still
Exactly.
there. It's
I mean-
still there, but it's just like Chris said. There's a lot of the people that got it were people that like tinkering. You know, they like
Yeah.
getting in there and messing around with the operating system and the hardware to
And
do
it's such a
crazy
cool
stuff
idea
with
that
it.
you could get a company like Microsoft to be like, look, license us the operating system for this piece of hardware and just leave us alone.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember why the Ouya failed so badly. If I remember correctly, they still hadn't. You know that it started on Kickstarter, They still hadn't delivered everybody who had pledged
Yeah.
for a system, and then like
Right.
it came out in GameStop, and people were pissed because they were like, okay, so you're telling me that I paid money so that I can get this earlier than everybody else, and now everybody else and their mother can get it at GameStop, and I still don't have my shit.
Yeah, that's
So
the
that's
bullshit.
Yeah.
so everybody, that's what kind of the Ouya went down the drain. I don't know what it's doing now. Is it like somebody
Razer
buying
bought it.
that company?
Razer
Or-
bought it.
The last time I heard they were there. It wasn't E3. It was one of those game shows that they wouldn't let them in.
No,
No
Razer,
way,
the hardware
really?
company,
Oh, they
the
had
hardware
them
company
back,
Razer
yo.
bought them.
They had them
Yeah.
out back. They wouldn't let them in. They had their truck up there and they kicked them out. They were in the boot. It was a big thing. I was laughing.
Yeah,
felt
because I
bad
mean, the whole concept of the Ouya anyway is really just to have the whole Android platform and being able to use it on your television
that's
system.
what I'm saying. Most
So-
of these systems, those Steam machines, they're all running Android, and it's the
Right.
same stuff you have on your phone. All they're doing is beefing up the hardware and throwing an app on it.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that's all you got. So like as far as security and all that stuff goes, that your, believe it or not, your PS4 and your Xbox One has. You're right. Some guy will get that. They'll hack it, throw 300 games on it, and send it for you for twice the price. You know,
hmm
and that's
Yeah.
that's
Well,
what those
it'll be
things end up being.
Yeah, it'll be just like people were doing with the Dreamcast back in the day. They just crack it open, load it up with games. But look, there's a
There you go.
Dreamcast with here's a Dreamcast with 300 Japanese games on it.
hmm So apparently the whole Razer crew, they're saying they're basically taking the Ouya, they're really trying to market it towards China, because China apparently
I think
has
they
a
already have
massive China has this massive Android marketplace, and so they're repurposing the Ouya to kind of the China market so that they can take advantage of all the Android stuff that's going on in China.
I mean, it's a
Sounds
great
like
idea. I mean, it's nice. I mean, dude, you can get you plug that thing in and you just play. I mean, you have simulators like that. And I have one on my PC that I download all the Android games I want to play, and I just open it up, and it's kind of cool. But like, I could do that with my current hardware, and it's free.
Right.
Right.
So yeah, it's there, it's out there. It's just another way, way for
That'd be
people
funny if it
to.
just blew up in China and no one we just forgot all
I
about
mean,
it.
it probably will. You know what I mean? It probably will. Everybody's like, Xbox, what? We got
Like, you
Ouya,
just go to
baby.
China, it's just Ouya everything.
And it won't be called Ouya. They'll repurpose it and they call it Razer Forge TV. Apparently, that's what they're saying. It's supposed to be called Razer Forge TV or something like that. So. But yes, one other game that has been kind of out there to kind of segue away from all of the Microsoft stuff we've been talking about. There is.
I'm gonna have to jump off really quick, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on here with us, though. We appreciate it, there, Chris.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. We definitely have to get you back on sometime, man.
Absolutely. Good
Awesome.
seeing everybody.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Good
man,
seeing you
Chris,
too.
Yep, absolutely.
Take it
Yep.
easy, man.
Yep.
But yes, one other, I guess you'd say, big name game that had been making some news that I know the rest of the crew is definitely interested in was Metal Gear. I know I discussed it a lot on a previous episode, but I was very curious, Jay, to see what your limited experience with the game has been.
Well, at this point, I'm trying to be patient because I do like Metal Gear, and all the reviews have been giving it 9 and 10s, and I'll be like, yeah, and I'll be getting open, and I'm like, I'm probably about 5-6 hours in now. And, I'm still not at that high point where I'm actually enjoying myself. The most fun, like I've been telling you, having is scooping people up with that parachute. That shit is too funny.
It's hilarious. The little balloon, yes.
That's like one of the best parts of the game.
And, it definitely is.
You know what it kind of remind me of? Far Cry 4 a little bit.
And that's that's kind of what I mentioned in the last episode. I was saying
Yeah, so
that
that's-
a lot of
it
the
has that kind of
concept seems
feel.
like that.
Yeah. I mean, I played the last one,
Mhm.
which drove me nuts with those like 2-hour cutscenes, but
Right.
they seem to at least beat this one up a little bit. No, not too many long murdering cutscenes. The horse drives me nuts too, so I don't like that. I guess
What's
I
wrong
gotta.
with the horse?
Oh man, dude, that horse is just, I don't know. I just don't like the horse. It's like you're looking at his ass the whole time. It's nuts. But I do like that. The stealth mode. You can go to live action. It's not like detrimental like the other ones. If you didn't stealth your way through the majority of it, you were done.
Right.
So you can go in there and just bomb out and go crazy if you wanted to, or you can do it stealthy.
Right.
The AI is still pretty slow and stupid, so that hasn't changed too much. So
Yeah, the AI for the guys isn't fantastic. They've
they're
got
not.
they're pretty dumb.
Yeah, what I do like is the system they have with when you collect people. And you can assign them, and they actually give you an opportunity. You can move them around if you don't like them where they are. So I do like that. If somebody has higher skills in a certain area, you can spend a little time in there, and that's I like that. That's pretty cool. You can actually move them around.
The base development.
Yeah, and
resources
and
all
get,
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I've actually gotten gear a little faster than I wanted by moving some folks around.
Right. And that's the purpose. Yeah.
That's purpose, right? So if you're playing it and the game is auto picking it for you, you should if you scoop up like 10-15 guys, go check it out and see if you can make it a little better, get your base rolling.
And what's actually interesting, I mean, I've been playing it, I've been putting a lot of hours into this game because I mean I do enjoy it a lot and I have fun with it. And I notice, as you go along in the game, one of the things that I noticed that I guess is different from all the other Metal Gear games is that as you're going along, it seems like some of the features and things you're able to do grows as you play the game.
Yes.
So, as you do the missions, it seems like every couple of main missions or so, it opens up a new feature, or not necessarily a new mode, but a new feature or a new capability for boss, whatever his name is, and the rest of the people that you're out there with. So I mean, like at one point, you're able to take some of the guys that you have convinced to join your mercenary squad. You can play as them, or
yeah. See, I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Right, and the purpose of playing as them, I found, is that you can actually improve some of their attributes, which I think is good also. So it's not like, hey, I found this dude, he's got an A+ here, a F here, a B- in this attribute, and that's all he's ever going to be. You can actually take him out, use him as a character in a particular mission, and then in time, he'll grow. And his abilities will get better.
I don't know if you ran into this, but every person I've captured, I've been able to convert, which is amazing.
Yes.
I mean,
you convert everybody.
Right, son.
Yes.
That's right, I'd be giving them brownie weed cookies and everything. They'd just be like, "Yo, I'm in."
It doesn't matter if you shot them like 2 or 3 times and they were almost dead when you shot them. They always convince them to go.
Base alive. They're on your squad, and that's kind of shady, man. Because I'm afraid I'm gonna walk around that base and someone gonna try to shank me.
Well, I did find that even though everyone that you get ends up on your squad, that if you've got like the wrong group of guys there, their morale will lower, and some of them will leave, and some of them will get into fights with others and end up killing some of the other dudes if you don't manage it right.
Yeah, I haven't had that happen. I guess because early on, I read some tips, just manage that every time, every once in a while, I go back to the base and check it out.
Well, yeah, I'll be forgetting that because I've got like over 400 or 500 guys now. I've got hundreds of guys sitting in my waiting room because I have so many guys at this point, and some of the guys that sit in the waiting room, those are some of the problem children that you just don't have time to go through.
Right. 40 or 50.
Yeah, but I mean, what is good about the way they manage it is the I guess you could say the AI that determines when you pick up a guy where to place them is really good. Because
Yeah,
I
it is
know
pretty good, but
most of the time you don't have to move and shift around the guys, because whatever their highest ranking is in, they're going to shift stuff around so that they can actually put that guy in that group, and they'll just move whatever guy, if it's like maxed out, they'll move the lowest scoring guy to your waiting room,
next group, right.
which is really good, because that could have ended up being like a real time sap to have to go through and manage all the people.
I was hoping that would be the case, because
it is.
Like, man, if I get up to a certain amount of guys, I'm not going to be coming in here like every 5 minutes to be switching things around.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Through, see which one's the better one, and
It is. It's not a time sap in that way. I mean, I'm enjoying the fact that now I finally got into another area, another map, another area, rather than always being in the little Afghanistan area. Because for a while there, I was kind of getting a little bit of claustrophobia, because you're running around, going and taking out the same bases in the whole Afghanistan map for a while. And I was like, okay, I've taken out this base like 10 times. I'm tired of taking out this base. Let's go find some new bases. And then finally I recognized that, the main mission, it actually takes you to other areas. So I have to, so it was like I had to do the main mission to get to a whole new area with more bases and, all other kind of new equipment, all the walkers and stuff that you can take and pick up. If you don't like the horse, they end up with I've got a dog.
Too, right?
They've got a what?
And a Jeep too, right?
Oh, well, I mean, those are vehicles. You can actually steal vehicles, and then you can use the vehicles in missions if you want to, and just drop them in place wherever you want to. I've been taking tanks and stuff. I don't know if you can use the tanks or anything yet, but I've taken tanks and stolen tanks from them. You can, so like the way they have it set up is, you've got your main character you play as, and then you've got what they call a buddy. And to Jay's point, the first buddy you start off with is the horse. And the only thing you can do with the horse is ride the horse, or let the horse sit off in the distance and you do your thing, right? So the other buddies you end up with are a dog. And the dog does a lot of recon for you, and it can actually kill people and can stun people if you tell him, he's trained so that you can have him do that kind of thing. And the dog is awesome. If I could use him on every mission.
My dog is still a puppy. He's mad small. Every time I go back to the mission, he follow me around.
Yeah, he'll grow. And it's a trip too, because when the dog kills people, the dog actually pulls out a knife from somewhere. I don't know where the hell the knife comes from.
Get out of here.
I'm telling you, Makita, he pulls out a knife in his teeth. He jumps on them, he cuts their throat, and then flips off when he kills people. So I'm like, I don't know how they train this dog. Yeah, no, it's crazy. And
start feeling my dog kibbles and bits.
I know you need to do something, but it's dope though, because how when you go into bases and you have to, you say that you spend so much time looking for all the guys that are on your base.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that necessarily when you have the dog, because the dog can sense and smell a lot of the guys in a certain radius. So as you get closer to the base, the dog smells them and it just pops up on your thing, so that you don't have to use the goggles all the time, unless you just want to see where they are.
How long does it take for the dog to get big? Because mine is still a puppy.
I think the way that you do it, if you do some more main missions, he'll end up growing up. You can't just do regular missions, or else he'll just stay the way he is.
Yeah,
you have to do.
I've been doing. Like me, I always do this. I always do like all the side ones first, and do.
Yeah, don't worry about doing all the side ones until you really just need money, because it doesn't necessarily benefit you. I mean, the only reason why the side missions are there are really because of money. They don't really advance a whole lot. So a lot of the features of the game and a lot of things you can do in the game, you can't get until you do some of the main missions to grow your base and to add more people to your base, because that's a part of the development also. You have to make the base bigger, get more people for the base with better skills, and some of them have like special skills so that they'll be able to make like I just found this one guy that customizes weapons so that you can actually take attachments and pieces off of each one of your guns and put new stuff on them. He's like a legendary gunsmith or something like that.
Oh, nice.
And so at a certain point you'll be able to go after and pick him up and use him also. And so they have like the dog, the horse, there's this sniper that's called Quiet that can end up being your buddy also.
Is that the one you were telling me about that's always in the bikini?
Yeah, that's the naked chick that everybody's pissed off about. Yep. And
What's her name again?
Quiet.
Yo, we looked that up.
Are you sure? Is her name really Quiet?
Yes, in the game her name is Quiet.
Yeah, yeah, the one who's like not really dressed for anything.
Yes, and they do halfway explain it. It's definitely a Japanese explanation, but they explain in the game why she's naked all the time. And they say, so get this, Makita, you gonna love this explanation. So apparently Quiet doesn't breathe. She doesn't breathe through her lungs. She breathes through her skin. She doesn't eat anything. She drinks and takes in water through her skin. So if she has on a lot of clothing, she can't breathe and she can't eat per se. And the way that she eats is through photosynthesis. So she needs sunlight. She needs
she's like
nakedness.
A plant? She's a plant?
I don't know what the hell she is. All I know is that she's a bomb-ass sniper. That's all I know. She doesn't talk, and all she does is go around, and she's a kick-ass sniper, and that's why I have her, and that's why I kept her, because you can either kill her or you can take her on your team. But of course, nobody else trusts her because she doesn't talk, and she basically started off trying to kill you in one of the missions. So it's like the rest of the team, everybody at your base is like, yo, we don't want her here. Take her with you because she's going to lower morale at the base because she won't do anything with anybody else but you. So, so it's an interesting dynamic. But yes, I think later on in the game, you can unlock a outfit for her to actually wear where she's not naked and she can still breathe through it. But you have to unlock it, that kind of thing. But yes, they do explain why she's naked, but I don't know if that's a good explanation now, but that's the way they explain it. Yeah.
I could live with that. No, I could live with that.
At least there is an explanation for it. You know what I mean?
Right, not just because we want her to be this way.
That's right. So, I mean, I'm like I said before, I'm really enjoying playing Metal Gear. I'm having a lot more fun with it than I thought, and I was actually more hyped about the multiplayer mode that I kept seeing, like at the E3 demos, and I was like, yo, that, stealing all the resources for my base and then going after somebody else's base, dude, just give me that game. I don't even need the main storyline, because I know nothing about Metal Gear at all. And the weird thing is I swear I have probably put more than 40 or 50 hours into this game, and I don't think I've unlocked the multiplayer mode yet. And I don't know, I'm not 100% certain technically how deep into the game the multiplayer portion of it is, but I haven't unlocked it yet.
When you play, does it say online or does it still say offline?
Well, see, here's the thing. Yes, you're connected online, and they have like bonuses and stuff for you, every time you log on, each day that you log on, they'll give you resources and money or whatever, right? So if you haven't unlocked that portion of the game to do the multiplayer portion of it, your base won't be able to be attacked yet. But you can still send your soldiers to attack other bases online.
Oh, okay. So,
the guys that are doing stuff online, you can have your little combat unit guys go off and attack other bases online, even though you can't. So that portion of it is still connected right now. So at a certain point of the game, I think you unlock the last base portion of it. I guess it's called a defense or something, like a support defense portion of the base. I think after you unlock that, you're able to make these things called forward operating bases, FOBs. And then once you unlock that, then you'll actually be able to take your character and go and drop in on another character's base and then attack their base and steal their people and resources and stuff like that.
Nice.
Which I haven't gotten to yet, and I'm eager to get to that. But like I was saying before, I was surprised that I was enjoying playing the regular game as much as I am, without being able to do, you know, the multiplayer portion of it. So it's still a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. I like how, you know, it's giving you incentive to play more, and it's opening up more for you to be able to do and see and buy and use and stuff as you go along and play the game. So I'm starting to see why it's been getting really, really high reviews. Because like you know, just like Jason said, at the beginning I was like, yo, this is Far Cry 4. I'm just going around from base to base, and I'm going to get tired of going around to these same bases, you know, like every few hours or something like that. But it's definitely mixing it up. And even as it goes along, they're putting more, like each one of the soldiers, you'll notice, Jay, as you go along, the soldiers, they'll have less gear. They have less gear on now. But as you go along, they'll have like metal helmets. Yeah. They'll have like metal helmets so you can't get headshots. They'll end up with body armor. Some of them will have night vision goggles.
Yeah,
some of
right
them,
now I'm getting mad headshots.
Right, yeah. And then at a certain point, some of them will have shields on their backs that they'll be able to use. So like if you start trying to unload on them, they'll pull the shield and they'll block you with the shield, so that you can't either do a melee attack or you can't just use whatever weapon you're using on them. They mix it up, so even though the AI isn't necessarily very smart, the equipment that they end up giving them makes them more and more progressively difficult as you go along. So, you know, and then they'll add like tanks and stuff out there, you know, so that you'll be roaming around and all of a sudden a tank group will be out there, and then a sniper will be up on the hill that you didn't see protecting the tank, and I'm like, damn it, I didn't know he was up there, you know, that kind of thing. So they do mix it up, and they, as you go along, they'll add stuff to it that'll make it difficult, even though the AI isn't necessarily uber intelligent at that time. So, you know, it's very interesting how it goes along, how it's been progressing, and you'll see it as you play it more. Very, very good game. I'm liking it. Yes, and I'm loving that the cutscenes. I'm loving the cutscenes too.
I didn't know.
Yeah, she's had it for a minute.
Yo, I've been had her PS4. I had a PS. I got what was like. What is BJ? It's been like a month, a little over a month.
Yeah, a little bit over a month.
I don't think I've been on the show for about a month.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, Jay has been on for a while.
The week before vacation, I was out because I had to work. Then I was out that week. Then the following week I had to work again, and then last week, that's 4 weeks. I've been out for like a month.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, when he left, that was about when you did it.
Dirty helmet.
Okay, I'm listening. You're too funny.
But yes, that is Metal Gear. That is Metal Gear. And before we go here, I did promise I was gonna say a little bit about the game that we kind of started off with, the Armello game.
You know, I saw somebody else play it. I was watching somebody else play. I didn't realize it was the game that you were talking about. Like, you know, I saw it. I was like, oh, this game looks cute. This, you know, I love strategy games. So I was like, oh, this game looks really cute. And I kind of just like totally forgot about it. And then you told me you sent me an email with a code, and I was like, I didn't see that.
Yeah, girl, you didn't see it.
I get so much junk in my ZGO email that sometimes I just miss a lot of stuff. So hopefully I didn't delete it by mistake.
Yeah, it's in there. I know it's in it. So hopefully you didn't delete it. But yes, Armello. So for those of you guys who don't know, kind of like Makita just said, Armello is, and I'll have to look it up. I can't remember the name of the group. But the concept of the game is it's a mixture of a board game, a strategy game, and a card game, all mashed together. And I mean, you can kind of see from the video here, the graphics and the art style of this game is beautiful. It's got great animation. It's not like it's not the kind of graphics where you're particularly worried about having 1080p and 100 frames per second or anything, but it's classic kind of cartoony graphics or whatever. And I know I forget what outlet kind of named it this, but I've noticed a number of outlets saying that the theme or the storyline of Armello is kind of similar to Game of Thrones. So think
Oh,
of
you
kind
know
of
what? I
like
can
Game of
see that.
Thrones. Yeah, kind of think of like a theme in a storyline that's kind of like Game of Thrones, where you've got a king, you've got all these other little kingdoms that are around that are a part of this one main kingdom, right? And each one of the different kingdoms are represented by these different animals. So you've got like the rabbit clan, the wolf clan, the rat clan, the bear clan, and I forget, there's like one other clan, I think. And each one of the clans has at least 2 different special characters. And each character has their own attributes, just like a traditional RPG. And each one of those attributes allows that character to do either fight game, either fight just actual battles better, magic better, or adventure better. So there's like wit is for adventuring, spirit is for magic, fight attribute is for just regular fighting, and body, of course, is hit points. So you've got your and I hope the little video here will get to the actual game map so you can see the map that you actually start on. But the concept is the king is this big lion, and he's in a castle in the center of the map. All the other characters that are playing at the time are all in like a circle. So the king is in the middle, and all the other characters are on the outlying portion of the map, right? And each one of the, I guess you'd say, panels on the board are hexagons. So you can go around and go in different, and each one of the tiles that you go on have different attributes as well. So you've got just regular plains, you've got mountains, you've got swamps, and then you've got like these dungeon areas and these Stonehenge areas, and you've got regular towns, as you see in the video. It's moving around a little bit, right? And as you go around, the king is poisoned by this darkness or something like that.
Yes, darkness.
So progressively, the king is dying. Number one, he's dying, and number two, he's being influenced by whatever this darkness is. So each turn that progresses, he gets weaker and he gets more, mad, I guess you could say, right? And the 3 ways that you can beat or win the game is you either kill the king, you cure the king, or you become, you have the most prestige when the king dies, that they just give you the throne. So you're competing against all the other characters to do one of those 3 things. So you can kill the king, which is extremely hard to do. Every time I played, the person that I tried to attack the king ended up dying. They ended up killing each other. And the other way you can do it is they have these stones that appear, spirit stones. And if you collect 4 spirit stones, then you can take the spirit stones and cure the king. And then as you go along, and like I was saying before, the king is like poison in the, his mind is poison, so he starts placing stuff on the map that actually become traps and stuff that you have to defeat in order to move around the map. And as time goes along, he starts placing more and more of these traps all along the map. And then occasionally you see the little spirit stone that appeared right there on the video. And that little creature that just appeared right there in the video is like one of the darkness creatures or whatever. So as time goes along, more and more of these little creatures pop up also. So it's fun. Like you said, it's one of those kind of games where if you like strategy games, there's a lot of different avenues you can take. But the way they have it set up is the play time that you have for each session, I wouldn't say is very long, which is good, because it makes the replayability high. That each game session I think is probably taking me maybe 20 or 30 minutes or so, but it's a lot of fun. It's just like a regular board game. You have action points, you roll dice to determine whether or not you defended or attacked or achieved something whenever they do adventures between the characters. And it's progressive also. As you do challenges and as you achieve challenges, rather, you actually gain equipment that you can equip with each one of these different characters who have their own special attributes each time you play with them. So different play styles, you get the cards, you use different cards, equip the cards. So it's a nice little mix. I really had a lot of fun with it. It's definitely something you could get, if you had a few friends that are, that like playing board games with you or something like that. You could do one of these kind of games online, and I could see it being fun kind of playing with friends for like 30 minutes or something like that online. Nice little strategy game, Armello. Nice.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to playing that game because I just finished playing this game called I think it's called Fox and Flop. And
Fox and Flop.
Yeah,
Let's see, I gotta look that one up.
Look for it on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
The best way I could describe this game is as if Dr. Seuss decided to make a morbid version of Chinese checkers. That is the best way. Yeah. Basically what the game is, there's a narrator who's telling a story about how all these animals, like forest animals or whatever, they're sophisticated.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this ball, right? And they're dancing around, and the way that they move is they can't move back. They can only move forward and side to side.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is the foxes, they come in, and you have to either play the fox or play the flop. The fox, obviously, he comes in and he wants to eat whoever's in the ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
At first, nobody knows who the hell the fox is, but you have to move in a kind of stealthy way where nobody will find out that there's a fox at first. But then it becomes very clear that something the fuck is up and people are dying and we need to get out. So you play the fox at first, but the reason why I say it's Chinese checkers because
I got a picture up here for you.
Yes, that's it. You see the way that the board is positioned. It looks kind of like a Chinese checker board. I mean, it's like in a cross, but it's weird. The only way that you can eat the other animals, is if there's a space. So let's say that guy in the middle decides to move to the next one, the next circle down, and then you move forward. You have to jump behind that character in order to eat them. And then as you move forward, sometimes the computer you can trick the computer, kind of like scare it, and then you can eat more than one character at the same time because you're like hopping
just like checkers.
over them.
Yeah,
exactly. But the Dr. Seuss part is because the narrator tells the story in a rhyming form, just like a Dr. Seuss book.
As you're playing?
Really amusing, yes. It's actually extremely amusing. And the story is great. The story is great. It's the only thing I could say about this game is that the story mode is like really, really short. Because I played it for maybe like 2 hours. Because when it comes to strategy games, I kind of focus on it and I obsess about it. But I beat the game in about 2 hours, and it's very challenging. I think you would like it. I think you would like it, BJ. If you like chess, if you like strategy games in general, but especially if you like chess, or if you had a fun time playing Chinese checkers or checkers as a kid, this is definitely the game for you. Especially, it gets a little harder, especially
and it's
when you have to control
$1.99. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, I could get in there.
Yeah. No, it's one of those games you're like, you know what? I'm bored. Let me play this game, and then you end up getting entranced by it. Like, okay, I need to figure out how to get this.
And a few hours in, you're like, oh wow.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometime I played it right before I had to get ready for the show, and I was like, yeah, I need to get ready for the show. I need to jump up this, and I ended up beating it. But Yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend that as a buffer game for anybody. It's a good little it's a good little gem. I'd say